friends, it's Allison. Welcome back to my messy desk. I have the second half of September flip through for you today. We are well into October at this point. So let's see if we can get through it. First of all, this is what my current desk looks like. And for those of you that don't know, I just work on an old desk calendar and this is just a lot. And so I am now getting rid of this month and starting fresh. No, it is not June. If you can see this up here, I don't care. This is, like I said, I don't even know what year this is. I just bought it to use as a desk blotter. Okay. Second of all, here is my journal. You guys are a little bit in a different view right now because I lent my camera and I'm going to try to adjust you. Just hold on. Oh my gosh, you guys. I lent my camera to my husband and daughter because I love them so much. And my daughter had a project due and they broke two pieces, like the tripod and the extent. I don't even know. So I've not been able to film, and now I got a new arm and it's just not in the right position. So that's what we're going to deal with today. Okay. So let's get you as situated as we can. Let's get done with the second half of September. Okay. If you're new here, welcome. Yes, I'd like to say my life is not always this crazy, but I think sometimes it is. Okay. This is where we left off in my daily fauxbonichi, daily creative journal, daily journal that I creatively journal in every single day. All right. I don't do it every single day. I really try to, but obviously that doesn't happen. And so then I go back and take notes about what happened and then get to it. So this is where we left off. This is halfway through. This is halfway through September the 15th. Okay. All right. So the next day is, and if you're wondering, let me catch you up. This is a handmade journal I made out of like a bunch of things that my family had brought down. My aunt and uncle were moving. They cleaned out their office. And so I made a journal out of a lot of their old things. This front piece being a map, obviously. All right. So here is the 16th. I think this is about as good as we're going to get on a view right now without this camera falling again. So I have some work to do on getting it situated. Okay, here we go. So we are currently still on our trip, and by we, I mean my daughter and myself. We took my son back to college. My husband was not able to go, which kind of sucked, but we ended up having a great trip nonetheless. So we are back east in the Carolinas, and this day we drove to North Carolina. So we went to Duke, we saw Duke, and then we saw University of North Carolina. So there's a picture of my girl and like the mascot. And then we got to make a special stop. And so this is like the highlight of my trip. And we got to meet the one and only Christy Biddleson. And the sweet thing said, just come to her house and she would cook dinner for us. And although, we know each other online and this community is so amazing, I, of course, had never met her, and it was just lovely. And we had a great visit, and our daughters, played, and it was just so sweet. And so she gave us amazing gifts of her mandala stones and sweet homemade things. It was just so thoughtful. And so this was like the wrapping actually that was around everything, and I just literally folded it back up. I cut it kind of in half because it was really fat, and then glued it in. And so I had saved this from an old Happy Mail of hers, and then I had this little stamped image and this little punch out. And so it was just so sweet. And so this like ribbon and everything is from her. And oh my gosh, Christy, thank you so much. This is a sweet piece of art that Alley Cat made for my daughter, actually. And then I'm just going to keep it in here, I think, until I can figure out how to make a copy of it. And then we got to take a picture. It was so amazing to meet someone who, inspires me all the time, and I just love it. So hopefully one day we'll get to travel more and visit all of you guys. But So that was the, this is all the 16th, sorry. And then I just put, what an amazing day. We got to meet sweet Christy and her beautiful family. And I said we had never met, but it was like we had. So it was just lovely. And I said, oh, and there's a tropical storm / hurricane coming. This is all new for us. We don't have tropical storms where we are from. So that was just interesting. And then we drove back. It was a long day of driving. So like we started here, we drove up to, one school, we drove down to North Carolina and then back to like, where Christy lives. So, and then we got ready to go the next day. So basically, if you didn't see my last flip through part, we're on kind of a college tour, if you will. And so we're basically driving really to a new state and then visiting campuses and then the next state the next day. So it's very, very quick, and lots of driving. All right. So the next day we woke up, we drove to Tennessee. So I had made this map pocket. If I've showed it before, this I believe is off of one of Joey DeFee's amazing videos. And when I make them, hers are all beautiful and elegant on like beautiful floral book pages maybe, and I don't have any books like that, so I just use what I have. And this was an old map book, atlas book, and I just folded up some pages. I did not have any intention or like purpose of like using Tennessee, but when I went through them and packed my stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to Tennessee. And so I used it. So we got Dunkin' Donuts. I put this tag in there, little moments, big memories, because that kind of just sums up our trip. I don't know. It was like all the little things, right, that make such the big memories. Anyway, we had Dunkin' coffee for breakfast, which we don't have here in the Pacific Northwest either, or certainly not by our house. I'm sure we do have them places, and so this is like the motto. It says the world runs on Dunkin'. So we had Dunkin' with our cake from Christy. She had gotten us cake last night that is made from a Southern soda pop cake, I guess. I forgot the name of it, but anyway, it was really good. Well, it was really good the night before, and it was really good for breakfast also. So, so anyway, and then I had this sticker. It just said, let's go everywhere. And that kind of sums it up. So we're on to our next state today. So that's my daughter and myself. And then here is the map of the campus of University of Tennessee. And I literally taped this whole sucker in. So it is the whole map of the campus. And this trip was very different because of COVID, and only a couple of the campuses were doing in-person tours, and they were very small, and you had to do them like weeks in advance basically, which we had not done because we weren't sure which campuses or which days and all that kind of stuff. So we ended up, they all had a self-guided tour. They all have it on an app. And then we talked to a very sweet person at this campus, and we parked here, and she gave us this map, and so it had another tour like of the campus. So they were all self-guided, and then we asked questions, and we met with a few people along the way, like faculty or whatever, to ask some questions. But in terms of actual tours, they were not, we didn't go on any given by the school, and I think there was only 2 schools offering them when we were there. So anyway, that's the whole map. We had maybe the goal, but one of the things we try to do when we travel is only eat places that we can't eat at home, if that makes sense. So it was very difficult to eat super healthy, obviously, on this trip, and we just decided, we're going to enjoy it or whatnot. So we had also met with one of my other friends from high school previously, and he said, oh, good fried chicken is Bojangles. So it was a super long day of traveling and driving. We made it to the next stop. I just put a little tip in here, or a little card in this pocket. We ate it. I think this is called Bojangles. It's like a Kentucky Fried Chicken, maybe. It's like fried chicken and fries or whatever. So we got that, and then we got to our next hotel this night. So you can see this is like magazine paper, that part of what I made the journal out of. It was longer than the book. I just folded it in for a place. Okay. Here's our parking pass from the day. And I just put little notes about it. It was an amazing campus. We had a horrible drive through that storm. Not gonna lie, that storm was no joke. And we were very fortunate because we were like on the edge of it or the end of it or whatever, but it was 4 hours of like not being able to see probably more than 20 feet in front of my car the entire time. So um I was glad when it was kind of over and the sun came out and we had a beautiful afternoon. So that kind of sums up our day, but I just tipped that in for just a little memory. All right, the next day we were in Alabama, and I actually have family there which I had never met before, and so we connected. And this is my cousin's son, and so he is a student there. He gave us an amazing tour. It was really cool. It was so much fun. We spent the day there, and then we drove that night or that afternoon to Georgia to start our next day. So this is Friday, and this is just like some scrapbook paper I've cut out. This is a journaling card here, and you can tell I didn't even finish at the card. I just kept writing right onto this paper. I did tip in our hotel card. I decided not to use all of them. I know I showed you guys before, like I kept all these different, pocket cards, and I didn't end up using them all as much. I mean, I could have, put that in there and tuck the card in, but anyway, I didn't end up using them. This night when we got to the hotel, Justice Ginsburg had died this day, and so this was what was all over the news. And so I printed out this picture and just, to pay respect to her. And I just wrote, like, she's been a pivotal part of our history and has set the bar high for her seat to be filled. And then I just put, I'm scared for the controversy this will bring in our nation, because it's just crazy. No matter what is happening, it's crazy, and it's often divided. So I just wanted to kind of, again, note that, right? So anyway, so that night we ended up in Georgia. So this morning we woke up in Georgia, and then I just put love this. Here's a postcard I got, and I made I just documented, and I said previously, I don't know why I didn't pick up more postcards like this. Not that I need it, obviously. I have plenty of stuff, but I kind of like it. So I wish I had maybe gotten some more of these, but I think it's kind of cool. So I just documented on the back. We went to the University of Georgia this morning, and then we ended up at my cousin's house for by lunch, which was earlier than thought. And so she asked us, I said, oh my gosh, I know they were planning on us for dinner, but not for lunch. And I said, what can I get? We're happy to bring food. So she said, stop by this place, which I just think is so funny. It's like a restaurant, literally, they sell chicken salad. So, but it was so good. And they do have a full menu, but then they had a whole refrigerator full of like pre-packaged things. So they had multiple flavors of it. So if you just wanted to take it to go, like not get the sandwiches or not get the other things, which is what we ended up doing. So we got like 4 flavors of chicken salad. We just took it to their house. We had it on like vegetables, like peppers and crackers and whatnot. So it was really good. So I cut this out of the bag, and then my daughter got to see her cousins, which is super fun. And so I just, I just wrote about that. And then here's like the note about Georgia University. And yeah, it was just fun. It was fun to see the campuses. It was fun to visit the South. Like, we're not from the South, and it's just a different culture. And we just love it. So it was very sweet. So, we had a great dinner and whatnot and visit with my cousin and our family. So, and then on Sunday we ended up leaving. And so we took another picture with my daughter's other cousin. And then we just chatted while we, caught up and whatnot. This is the map actually that my daughter printed out in the very beginning of kind of planning her trip, with all the universities that she was interested in down here. And I mean, we could have gone as far up here to like, Penn State in Ohio, but we decided to keep it down here. I mean, we could have done anything, right? We just flew one way and then we flew home another way. Anyway, so this is the actual pattern that we chose. So we'll have to make another trip back here when she applies or whatever, and see the other school she's interested in. But I just thought this was a really fun piece, right? To see and then she she put the university and then the next university, and then she plotted out how many miles were in between it, so I could figure out like drive time and whatnot. So I thought that was pretty fun to see kind of her, I don't know, working it all out, right? And, ruling out some of the schools. Like we were going to head down into Florida, and she decided that wasn't one of her top ones right now. And so anyway, just kind of cool to see. So I tipped that in, and then or glued that into the backside. And then this, or maybe I did tip this whole thing in. I guess I did. I tipped this whole thing in. This is all taped. And then on the back, I just put a piece of journaling paper and just made some notes. This was a piece of like doodle art that I'd done prior to our trip and just, cut it out. And then I just put some gate passes and whatnot on there. And oh my gosh. Okay, so this was crazy. This is a napkin. I don't know if you can tell. It's a little bubbled here. I decoupaged on a napkin with glitter decoupage, so it's actually clear. And so I kind of like that look. And it obviously has an air bubble in there, so I might try and go back over that. But so we had 2 flights, and our first flight was late. And then our second flight, I didn't think we were going to make it. I was just kind of resolved to the fact we weren't going to make it. And the airline, was on the intercom, and they were saying, we have like 12 people on this flight who need to catch a next flight. Please let them off, and blah, 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 blah. I mean, we literally ran to our second flight, and they held the flight for us. We were the last 2 people to board, and I was so grateful. And so they had to take our bags, obviously, because they'd already loaded the plane and blah. Anyway, I was so grateful, you guys. I can't even, I mean, once we got on there, I just had this big sigh of relief because this was the long flight home. The first flight was only like an hour and a half anyway. And so if we had missed this one, it would have been bad. And we were close. I knew we were close. I didn't realize how close we were because we did make it home on time, and my husband was able to pick us up and all that. And then I don't think I put it here. I should probably go back in. Yeah, I just said after a very full flight, we made it home. This is a card that already said home on it, so I just made that. And then I fell asleep as soon as my head hit the pillow, and I was grateful to be home. And my husband picked us up and whatnot. But what I was going to say is I didn't know how close we were to missing this flight until the next morning. I got a text notification on my phone that our flight is ready to be boarded. So we were so close at missing this flight that they had already pushed us to the next flight, which was like not until 5:30 in the morning. And so I was like, oh my gosh. And so that would have been a very long night in the airport. So I'm super grateful we did that. And then I put a little sticker here. I see I have not gone back in it. It's a little prescription bottle. I don't remember where I got this or if it's clip art or whatnot. I've had them for a very long time. I just put a note there. I'll go back and put a note there. My husband went and picked up our prescriptions while we were gone on this day because, they only hold them for so many days or whatever, and we were gone. So anyway, super grateful to be home. Super grateful we made our flight. So it's very, very, very good. All right. So this is Monday, the 21st. This is just a piece of, this is a short piece. This is just a piece of watercolor or paper that I'd watercolored on, literally just, lines. And I had ripped a piece to use it, and I just glued it all in here. So I have this like really rough edge on here. We had a friend that was up here visiting his family from Southern California, where we're from. And so we had planned on seeing him today. So that was super nice to be back here and be able to take him out for lunch on the water. And we had a wonderful visit. It was very cool. This is me. This is how I feel. Oh, this is how I feel after our trip. And just, I did gain some weight. That's okay. Because I only worked out a few times and I didn't feel my body well, but it is okay. But this is definitely how I feel today. And this is super fun Happy Mail clip art that I got from Debbie right before I left. So love it, love it, love it. All right, over here. This was the existing page, and again, it was longer, and I just folded it up to make a little tuck spot. This is numbers I made. This is from Lynn at Love Lynn's Life. I just tucked a journal card in here and just like about what we did. So my daughter had a doctor's appointment. We went to get coffee on the way. My husband had a dentist appointment. Again, frustrating. This is kind of an ongoing soap opera saga. If you need to like go back a couple videos, you'll see that there's always this. My husband's had to have some dental work done, and he keeps trying to get it all done in one thing. And they're like, no, we're going to do this piece and you come back in 2 weeks. And he's just so frustrated. And then because it was a little bit of an emergency, they're like, well, insurance isn't going to cover it. I'm like, oh, insurance is going to cover it. Well, not cover it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm like, I'll have to sort it out with insurance. And then, oh, my daughter went to dinner at her boyfriend's house. They truly are her second family. They love her. And so it was very sweet that they had her over. And then I got my new ring today from Pure Vita, and a bracelet for my daughter. So I just tucked this little thing in there. All right. Okay, so the next day we're back, and I just put these fall leaves on here. It was 61 degrees today, high of 74. It's officially the first day of fall, so we're not quite feeling it yet. My daughter and I did see, I think actually on this day, I'm not too sure, we did see like our first fall leaf, which is like so beautiful up here. I just love fall. So I put some banana paper. I think this is from my Happy Meal with Holly at Journal with Dolly. Back to reality, long work day, crisis with my client, blah, 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 blah. Work. Oh, we booked flights for California because we're headed down there the next weekend. I worked out. I fixed Verizon issues, ordered my daughter's contacts. My husband was at work. My daughter was at practice. And we ordered pizza for dinner because it was not a day where I got off on time due to what was happening at work, and it was super late, and yeah, pizza for dinner. So this, if you don't have it, is like a bake your own. So you order it the way you want it and then pick it up and then you cook it at home, which is kind of cool because town's like 20 minutes from us. So we often don't get food and bring it home because it's not very good. So we like to cook it at home. That's fine. All right, the next day. So the other thing that happened on this trip was I meant to journal. And if you go back on my channel, you'll see like a packing video for this journal. What happened was I didn't end up journaling. It was a lot more driving and just spending time with my daughter. Honestly, she had classes. She still had to log on every night for school and whatnot, but I was not in a place to like journal every night and get my stuff out at each hotel. And so what happened was I came home and all these pages were blank from our trip, and I had to go back and refill them in, which is completely fine. But the reason I say that is I had gotten a Happy Meal while I was gone from Holly at Journal with Dolly. And so I know I got it this day. This is like all from her, and here's the, the postage and all that stuff. But I also know like I used it on whatever pages because I had to go back and do my pages. So that's why I used something before I got it, if that makes sense. If not, So I had a doctor's appointment today, and just very interesting, talking to my daughter. I love her, and I haven't seen her in a year. So we caught up and obviously talked about the whole COVID thing and some other things she wants me to rule out. So she's running some tests, and I go back this week to get the results from those. This is I just put my Arbonne Fizz packet in here just because I drink that every day. And then I made a little note here about Happy Meal, and just the sweetest Happy Meal. It was just so much fun. And that is posted. You can go back on my channel. It should be under the Happy Meal whatever file, I don't know, whatever those are called, playlist. And so you can see all the yummy stuff she sent me. Just super fun. So, and like this tape was on the outside, which is so amazing because like I don't have anything like this. I'm certainly not from there. And so this is just perfect. It's just perfect. So I just love it. And then this was the page that was already here, the bird page. And I just drew some clouds and rain. It was definitely raining today, and I just put the temperature. I'm trying to note the temperature more. So, but these are all stickers from her Happy Meal. So I just put them on there. So, busy, not busy, whatever day, and just taking care of stuff and errands, but just wanted to document that. So I just left the bird. Okay, so this was weird. So this is Wednesday. I went to my doctor, like clean bill of health, feeling great, whatever, running some tests for like other things, but I'm feeling great. This is Thursday. I get up. I nailed my workout, feeling really good, being back in the groove of it, whatnot. I came home and I was sick, like sick. I said, what is happening? I got home from the gym. I got ready for work, and then I was sick, like throwing up. I mean, not good. So I called work, I canceled my sessions, and I crawled back into bed. And then I did do some work just on the phone, but like not Zoom. And like I just did what I could that day. And then I just put this from a magazine, like Have a Bug. I don't know what. Oh my God. My husband, of course, got home from work. He's like, do you have COVID? Like, are you gonna, I mean, he's like, do I sleep downstairs? What do I do? It was a very quick assessment, but we were like, this is just not COVID. Like, I really think it was something I ate. And if I'm going to be really honest, I think I took like all my supplements. I don't even know. I feel like I took my supplements without food or some, I don't know. It was a lot. I'm not going to lie. I was in bed all day and I was asleep at like 5 o'clock when he got home. So just on and off. I didn't leave bed. I did do some work and then I watched like YouTube all day. I couldn't get out of bed. I barely ate. I think I had a piece of toast, which I was able to keep down at like 2. Oh my gosh. Anyway, this page is dedicated to YouTube and what I found on YouTube. So I got into this new channel called Hannah Lee Duggan, and she is this amazing young girl that was living in a van and then she bought a cabin. And so I was like going forward and then going back and trying to catch up on videos. And she's just amazing to me. And she's super young. I mean, compared to me, she's like half my age, maybe. And so I'm just so impressed with her. This was some watercolor plants I had done, inspired by some Happy Meal I'd gotten previously, but it just reminded me of her videos because she has these amazing plants. And again, she lives in her van, which is just so cool. And I was just like, oh gosh, to be young and that spirited. And she's super good at like fixing stuff up. And I was not like that. That was not my life at 20, 25, 26, however old she is. And I'm just fascinated. So I loved this. So that was what came out of my day of like not being able to leave bed basically. And then I was feeling better. So this day is Friday and I can't remember. So this paper here I really liked, and oh, this is not sticking. Okay. I really liked the boat page and the book that it came from and all that. So I tried to keep kind of like the integrity of it and just like put some pockets and stuff on top of it throughout here because I didn't want to completely cover this. So this little pocket is from Holly. And I need to find a better glue. This is candy she sent me that we don't have. They were obviously like gummy chews, if you will. So we have similar stuff, but I've never seen. Anyway, I ate them. They were delicious. And okay, so this is Friday. Oh, so this is the day. Anyway, so I don't work out in the morning on Friday anyway, thank goodness. So I put stayed home, coffee and YouTube kind of morning, getting caught up with my pages and watching friends' channels. I had an interview. I don't know. It was like not a great fit. We'll see. We'll see. It wasn't what I thought it was when I called, but it was a great conversation. It just wasn't exactly what I was looking for. And then, this was the day I went to my first workout at the new gym in town. It's called V. And I'm always up for trying a new place. I'm still searching for the perfect fit again for my gym needs. And I said, I may need to open up my own place. So that was fun. I loved that. And then I just spent the evening watching videos on camper vans and traveling, basically dreaming and planning. So cool. I don't want to do a total redo, so I need a budget and a plan. So I put another sticker of like a camper van there. And then this is from Recreations by Brooke, her artwork for this month. And so today is, I guess, National Lobster Day. We did not have lobster. But I did find some sunglasses I cut out and put on him. But how cool is he? Like, her artwork is amazing. So I got the printouts, the digital kit for this month. And I just always love her creativity. It's just so cool. So I put a Netflix sticker here, 2 new shows on Netflix. And I often just have it on in the background as I create. So that was that. This is just a piece of paper that I glued on here in the background here. You can tell, but so behind is like a cookbook page. This is an Apple cookbook, I know, actually, something like that. All right, here is Saturday. I know it's Saturday because there is a ruck, and we went and did our ruck this day, my husband and I. And so we did 6 0.25 miles, 2 rounds of a certain workout with our ruck packs. And I put great ruck this morning. And then we stopped for tacos, which were well deserved. And then my husband and I had a lovely day together, relaxing, and we both took a long nap. So I think that honestly, I don't know if I'm not sick, but I'm not 100%. I remember being like tired, and yeah, so I even put it, I'm not feeling 100%. And so it just, it was just like a good day to relax, I guess, and just notice kind of that I'm not feeling 100%. So that was that. And then over here, this is a cutout of a map page, like from my Sizzix that I have been playing with. So I just kind of glued that on there. This is a envelope from a security, when you pay your bills or whatnot. So I put it around this because I kind of, again, wanted to keep the integrity of this page. And then on here is a little Project Life card, #1 fan, with a little tab that I added. And my daughter went to watch her boyfriend in a scrimmage, like first scrimmage of the year for football, which is so exciting. So we are excited for some sports and some normalcy around here. And because it's football, I'm going to add, I put some right there, but I will put another little, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll put another little piece, maybe like right there, just so I know. And then I also have some footballs that Carrie made me, but I don't remember. I don't know if I was going to add one on here. They have the numbers on them. So, and I already had this page prep, but anyway. All right. This is Sunday. I said, what an amazing fall day. It's so beautiful. So this is, again, this is like underneath is the ball, pamphlet. This is it. And so on here, this is again, just a piece of old paper. You can see it was a planner. It's upside down. I literally just loosely watercolored on it and then slapped it down on the page. And then I kind of added a little bit. So the sun was out, football was on. Thank goodness for football. My team lost, but that's okay. And then I sat out in the sun for a bit and I watched Life with Lisa, and I made her crock-pot lasagna soup. And then I got to journal. So it's beginning to feel like fall here, which is super exciting. This is a little kitty cat that I had doodled. And then I just had this sticker. It just says, what's better than this? And I like the football. It says just guys being dudes, but I just like the football. So this is the fold out part of my page here. So I put what we see depends on what we look for, kind of just a mindset thing. And then this was a quote, we are all of us stars and we deserve to twinkle, from Marilyn Monroe. So I just liked that. And then this is from, I think, Holly, whatever. Journal with Dolly. I think this was in her Happy Mail. I'm not too sure. And then this is a picture of me at the gym. And I got a text. The coach took this picture of me and I was like so not happy with it. And I texted her back and I was like, please don't ever do that again. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But then I looked at the picture more and more and I was like, I'm going to print it out and I'm going to put it in here just for my memories, because I need to sit in gratitude. And the more I looked at the picture, I just sat in gratitude at how strong my body is. And it is not where I want it at all. I am not where I want to be at all, but I am so much better than I was and so much stronger than I used to be. And I've come so far in physical therapy, both with my torn shoulder and with my knee. And so like in this picture, I'm just doing this squat or whatnot, but like the doctor told me 4 years ago that I can't squat and not to bend it past whatever, and that I needed knee surgery. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm going to rehab it. And so I'm just trying to shift. And that's probably, that's why I put this quote here. What we see depends on what we look for. So I just need that reminder, right? To sit in gratitude for my body and everything it's done for the years that it's been around, because it's been a few, and that I am healthier today than I was a year ago, and that I was healthier a year ago than I was a year before that. So I am seeing progress and growth. And anyway, so I printed up the picture is the bottom line. Even if you don't like a picture, maybe print it up. Either it's a motivator to change, which this one is still, but it also is a reminder to me to sit in gratitude and acknowledge what I do have or what I can do, and honor the work that I have done and that my body has done. So anyway, little bit of deepness there. So that's not all on that card, by the way, but it is like the gist of it. And then, yeah. So anyway, all right. Enough of that. Okay. This is a Monday. No. What day is this? Allison, what did I do? Yep. Monday. That's weird. This is Sunday? It is Sunday because of football. That's weird. Okay, that's a separate thought. Okay, the gym no longer offers Sunday classes is why I'm stuck. But I do see this was Sunday, and I remember it was a Sunday. Okay, regardless, Monday. Here's my to-do list. I was like, we are back. Let's go, right? And Monday, I don't do office work. I don't work. And so it's my home office day, if you will. So workout in the morning at 6, blood test, coffee. I had my ortho appointment with my surgeon about my shoulder, and I journaled. I worked out in the afternoon. My second workout, I got my emails done, took care of money, budgeting stuff, dry cleaning. And then, I had to do a spit test for my doctor. So when I said earlier, she wants to do these testing on me, this is one of them, to test this other stuff. So whatever, I had to do that today. And then I went to, this is the note here. So here's the coffee thing. And then I went to the doctor, great appointment. I'm going to go for another 6 weeks of rehab and building strength. I had my first pumpkin spice latte today by myself. I was like, yay, fall. Here's the ticket from the dry cleaners, little sticker from Holly. I don't know. She was just so cute. Like she was kind of like naked in her panties. And I was like, cause our clothes are at the dry cleaners. And then here's a quote, strength doesn't come from what you can do. It comes from overcoming the things you once thought you couldn't. And I was like, just super powerful. Little sticker again, the elephant. Love the elephants. Very symbolic for me. And just a sticker. I just love it. It just says, I woke up like this. So I worked out twice today at the garage and at V. I'm feeling strong, proud of what my body can do. It's not where I want to be, but I'm proud of how far I've come. So kind of like went to bed with this on my mind type thing and doing some work here. And then this morning waking up like in a different mindset, right? So I loved the sticker, like woke up feeling strong. I hit the gym strong this morning and just, it was really fun. So that was that. All right. The next day is Tuesday, the 29th. This delicious piece of art is from Brooke again. And I simply love it. And I wish every day was National Coffee Day, but I love this mug. I would buy this mug if it were a real one. And I love it. So this number, I think these are from Lynn at Love Lynn's Life. I'm pretty sure. If not, they're from Pam, but I think they're from Lynn. All right. And then this little title, it says, my job is stopping you from starting. And I just filled in the rest, right? To go back. It was something else, like, and I cut it out and kind of maneuvered it. And I just put stopping you from starting to go back to the way you came. My job is to meet you where you are and walk through the darkness and help you build awareness and skills you need for your next chapter. Let's go. So Tuesday is my heavy work day. And although now Thursdays are as well, but anyway, so I just normally try and put a note in there about work. This day was, because it was coffee day, my daughter is like, here, my daughter went to Krispy Kreme for the coffee on the way to practice. So she has practice. And again, we don't have it by us, but she has to drive like 45 minutes for practice. And so on the way, she always finds the national free thing, like whatever thing there is free, like free coffee, free donuts, free French fries, free whatever for students, 4.0 grade, blah, blah, blah. She finds it. And so she's like, Mom, can I go stop for this on the way? So she went and got herself a coffee there. And then I used this. She brings me home, so got a treat as well, obviously. And then I just tucked a card in there, and with a little map on it of the United States. It was like a journaling card, I think. This is from Holly as well. And I just put debate number 1, and I put some notes on the back. So we had our first presidential debate, and that's all I'm going to document in there. It tucks in a little bit more. I need to figure that out. But anyway, so I just wanted to note that, and then my personal notes are on the back. And again, I don't do a lot of, I've said this in multiple journals or multiple videos, I don't do a lot of personal journaling in this journal. I do that in my other journal, which I do not share. And that's just my daily practice of that. So like the first part of the month I showed you, this is the second part of the magazine, you know, the pages. And so here is another article about my aunt and her llamas when she was raising them. And so I just wanted to keep, again, the integrity of that there. All right, Wednesday the 30th, the last day of the month. I mailed my test today, like the saliva test that you have to mail it in. It's very, very serious. So anyway, I went and did that this morning. I did have 2 workouts today, and I went to my garage workout with my girls, and then I went to V again. And I paid for my license, the last day available of the month. I know, I'm such a procrastinator at things like that. And I got my hair cut, and then I was supposed to be a haircut and a color, and I didn't realize we had booked another thing tonight, and I did not have time. So I was like, ooh, which one? And she's like, let's cut it, and then we'll color it a different time. So got my hair cut, and then headed to my jewelry party, which my friend hosts, and I offered to like host a thing or whatever. And then my friend from the gym offered to host it at her house, because with social distancing and stuff, she has an amazing backyard. And so she was very gracious to let us have it at her house, so people would feel more comfortable kind of hanging out as opposed to inside my house. So I bought these earrings, and I haven't bought the rest of my stuff, but I just love them. So that was fun. Got to hang out and do that. And then I got my Lollipop Box Club, which I will film for you probably next after this. I noted the temperature. And again, this is just the page, you know, the coloring book or whatever I used, the newspaper article rather, that was in there. So I kind of like the little doggy. I like that. I did put a picture in here of my boy and his roommates, and his roommate had a birthday today, and so they got to go fishing. They took him out deep sea fishing, and then they went to a very, very nice dinner at a very nice restaurant. And so I said the boys spent the day on the ocean deep sea fishing, and then got to go to the best steakhouse in town for dinner. #blessed. So I love the map pages. It doesn't have to be like exactly where you are or where they are or anything. I just love it. I think it's really cool. It's enough of like water in the background, and I just love it. This was like a piece of, I don't even know what sort of bag. I just ripped it literally for the background just to back that page. And this was my tea that I had, and the tag says, your choices will change the world. And I think that's just, I don't know, a great thought. So this is like out of a scrapbooking magazine, an old scrapbooking card making magazine. But anytime I see a boat, I cut it out just to kind of note my son. So, and then that's the end of the month. I have not done my goodbye letter to September. I did glue in a little fortune that I had, and I didn't count my pages right. So when I made this, I now have a few extra pages, which I'm kind of sad about. And if you saw my last flip through, I had a loose page in there because I had ripped out one of the pages that was left because I want to use it. So now I don't know. I'm going to leave this one in for sure. I kind of would like to use this because this is like actual ledger. You guys, that's from 1978. Like, I want this piece of paper. So I'm not too sure what I'm going to do because I'm realizing if I truly cut it, then it loses its ability to hold, and then the front sheet may be loose. So I may try and cut it like a little bit here. Not too sure, but like, how cool is that? I may just take, I don't know, we'll see. This one I can leave in here. This was the other half of like an apple. I don't know, but kind of cool. because we live up here in Washington State, which is famous for its apples. So this was all the different kinds. I just really thought they were fun. And then this one I'll leave in here because that's the cover, and that's fine. So that is it for September. This is the back of my journal. Again, this was a not a true map. Well, it is a true map, but it was actually a placemat from the yacht club that my aunt handed down. And so I just love it. And anything like this, like paper placemats, anything like that, definitely keep. They're super fun. I did glue it on to kind of an existing journal cardstock page, and you can see it's already, so I'll have to kind of re-glue that, but it is held up well. The only thing I left this, I tied some knots on here, and I was gonna put some seashells on here like from our trip, but that didn't happen. So I may just leave it like this. I may find a seashell or something and kind of tie it on there. And then that is the end of September 2020. This is what it looks like in its glory. It does not close very well by itself, so I will put some binding on it or some sort of tie. I may go in and just glue some ribbon to either side, or maybe punch it with a hole and put some ribbon through here so I can kind of fasten it a little bit so it'll sit on my shelf better, like that. This handle will stay in there like that. It's definitely going to stick out. You can tell I like the sticky things, or the things sticking out. It does not bother me for sure, and I actually really like it. This I may have folded a little bit better, this whole map, but I thought it was cool to tuck the whole thing in there. So anyway, that's it for me, you guys. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry this is a little bit late, but it's been a little crazy around here. So now that I have my filming system back, I can put some videos up for you guys. So I will do that so you guys can see what month it is, and we'll call it done. And we will move on to October. So that's it for me. Have a great day, you guys. I hope you find something today that inspires you. Take care. Bye.